Hey.
We're going for another hour.
Guys, welcome to episode 21 of Shift Your Health. My name is Jackie Becker.
And I'm Paige Boo.
And today, guys, we're going to be talking about machines
Versus free weights.
Woo!
What builds more muscle?
Are we debating or?
I don't know.
No.
No?
No.
Maybe.
I'm on for both, but yeah, like I always think this is a question I know I've been asked numerous times, many times, because I think sometimes you go to a gym and you see these big juiced up guys.
It can be scary.
Yeah.
It can be really scary for females. I don't know about not for you, but for females.
I've met a female.
Maybe Jakey walks in and he's like, "Oh, get me out." But I think for females, firstly, the gym's pretty daunting in itself. Sorry, thank you. Thanks for being my interviewer.
I think you're going to be going on a she looked like she was like, I'm passionate about this.
No, but I just remember my first time stepping into a gym and I was like, what is this place?
Yeah.
It was a big gym as well. It was like Good Life in Bundle or something. And that's the super center one.
Yeah, wow.
And I was just like, this is the wrong place for me to be right now. But I think, it's kind of at least starting with a bit of a plan, right? I think that's key with any sort of training. And I'm a bit about to go off topic, but I think having a plan and knowing what you're doing, whether that's having a plan that you've got from a friend or a coach. Fit, tribe, drop. I do that every time. Fit, tribe, drop. But really having a game plan of knowing, okay, what do I actually need to do, and then having somebody show you it or learning how to do certain movements. But I think when it comes to machines and free weights, there's just so many different things you can do.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's so many different ways to build muscle from those exercises.
110%. Yeah, I think there's always a time and a place. I was saying, I think with machines, when you first start, it can be an easier option because your machines, they're going to assist you. They are going to be a little bit easier, where free weights, it's purely under your control. Yes, you can both put on muscle on both, but I would say free weights if you're trying to pack on the most. I think free weights.
What are free weights, actually? What if the listeners might not know what free weights
Yeah, free weights, guys, is like dumbbells. If you're lifting barbells, kettlebells, a machine, pretty self-explanatory, like a shoulder press, could be a machine also come into a place. The one thing I would add to the machines, and this is where, it comes back to Paige's point, is following a plan. If you're trying to put on muscle, guys, please get off the treadmill and because
don't walk on the treadmill.
Once again, I know, and that would definitely be in your plan. But if you're trying to put on muscle, and this is where it can come, because it's daunting having some gyms, and we only coach females, but if you're in a gym where it's just people that are, I don't like to use the word that are very big. It can be scary. That's where people go to where they feel comfortable, and usually there's 20 treadmills, and people are like, oh, treadmill, that's what I'm going to jump on.
Because it's easy.
Yeah.
And I think, again, it's just that whole, maybe, I don't know, for a lot of females, maybe not so much these days, because I now walk into a gym and I'm like, oh, I'm not the only female in the weight area, which kind of, it's a really nice feeling, because a few years back or 5 years ago, that was the case. You'd walk in and it'd just be all
gyms even have
masculine men.
Some gyms have females only places.
Is it Ashley Bynes' gym? Or there are just loads of female only gyms now at the moment. So you have that comfort, and that's always a great place to start. But I think when it comes to machine versus free weights, like Jake said before, machines can really help when it comes to being a beginner. You've got a lot more stabilization, whereas free weights, you're going to have to utilize certain muscles like your core, to hold you in the right position. And if that's not strong enough, you're going to lead yourself to an injury, which is really dangerous. So it's just about, one, learning the machines, learning how to use them properly, learning the movements and learning how to do them correctly first. Maybe starting on machines if you're a beginner and you don't really know what you're doing, and then working your way to free weights is a good place to start. I don't know if you want to add to that.
No, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense if you're a beginner. But even when you're advanced, guys, there's some machines that are just better.
Targeted.
Leg curls are a great one. Yes, there are equivalent exercises you could use that are going to hit your hamstrings, but leg curl is a great leg exercise to do. Leg extension as well. That's a very hard movement to do, with just free weights. Once again, you can, but I think those machines are great. And I know they're only two examples, but there's many examples where some machines actually are better than free weights. But they both have a time and a place. I used to, when I was in many years ago, when I was trying to bulk.
When I was at the gym.
Yeah, I don't really lift many weights.
In the gym in the past few years.
Yeah, I haven't really. There's not many weights being lifted in from myself, but I used to do a lot of. Yeah, I used to do a lot of supersets. Like, so I do like, like let's say examples like a bicep curl with like a dumbbell, and then I go to the bicep curl as like a superset, the bicep curl machine, as an example. And I used to really like that. Mixing it up, because it does hit. There are different muscle fibers you will recruit from doing a free weight to using a machine, and I think that's the key.
Jumping in on this one. I think as well, when it comes to building muscle, a massive thing is that you are doing progressive overload. Definitely. You can't just go into the gym, do your workout, say on a Monday, and then next week, Monday, go back, do the exact same weights, the exact same reps. You really want to go, okay, well, if last week I did 3 sets of 10, maybe next week I'm doing 4 sets of 10. So I'm just going to be increasing the amount that I'm doing over time, or I'm going to be increasing the weight at least. So I might still go for 3 sets of 10 at, say, 10 kilos, but next week it's going to be 3 sets of 10 at 12 kilos or 12.5. So really, to be honest, at the end of the day, I don't think it matters on the exercise necessarily. Like, obviously there's better exercises that target bigger muscle groups and all of that. But if you're lifting heavier each week and you've got a plan that you're following, then you are going to build muscle. It's just really about consistency each week and showing up to those sessions. I don't know if you want to.
No, like the only thing I'd say to that is with like reps and, how many reps and how many sets to do, that's where having a coach or having someone that's guiding you just makes it easier, because, doing like 10 sets of like 50 or something ridiculous like that, that's like crazy like numbers.
We'll go off on a different episode on this, but
that's
it's like a German volume.
There
10
is.
sets of 10.
Yeah, they do some wild stuff, yeah.
But again, has a purpose.
It does, yeah, like you can, but the whole point, yeah, I definitely agree, like progress. And it's not just with weights either, by the way. Like if you're trying to get fitter, like if I just keep running the same speed, guys, I'm not going to get fitter. Like you got to keep progressing, and there's so many different ways of going about that, which I do think could be a whole different, literally a whole different episode in itself on like the different ways to do that progression. But just remember, guys, if you feel comfortable using machine and you want to do that for the rest of your life, that's also fine. Like you can you can get amazing results by using a machine. Like I will put my hand on my heart and say that. But if you want to find those little 1% gains, mix and match. I really do think I think that's the best place to get to. Yeah. But if you are just happy on the machines and you're content and you're progressively overloading on the machines, beautiful. But the one thing I do say that the machines usually does have a limit. But unless you're trying to get like mega big, which I assume a lot of the people listening probably aren't, then you're probably not. Yeah, you're probably not going to get to the limit on the machine. But guys, that's going to be it. Episode 21. Wow, I'm proud of us. We have. Remember, guys, join the Facebook group. We do 3 lives a week. Okay, fitness, nutrition, mindset, everything fun. You also can just jump on, ask questions. Okay, we love to help you guys. Remember, this is to make your life a little bit easier. Okay, guys, we'll see you next week. Episode 22. BJ out. Peace.